What's up, everybody? Welcome to Value Town. I'm ChanManV, and today joined by three guys that you probably know in the community, some of your favorite streamers, some of the top players, Reynad, Dog, and Purple. Oh, I think I got you guys switched today. Crap. Welcome to the show, guys. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Good.
Good to be here.
Pretty good.
All right.
Everything's good.
Everything's good. Yeah, so I figured we'd talk about some of the, I guess, most recent news with BlizzCon qualifiers, and I think some of you guys are going to be playing that eSports arena soon. And then we'll do our segment, Gimmick, Good, and Golden. I can't even say it sometimes. Which we'll be evaluating some of the cards, and then we'll take a look at a couple decks that I picked out from Hearthstone. We can just evaluate and maybe improve upon, too. And then lastly, we'll be introducing a new segment today, building a deck, which I'll pick a card today and we'll build a deck live here, and then hopefully you guys can play it, on the ladder, given that's early in the season, and let us know, I guess, how it does. And then finally we'll do a Q&A, as we always do, and you can post your questions at chanmanv.tv on the host for Value Town here. But why don't we kick off by talking a little bit about Blizzard qualifiers. While I fix this real quick. Give me a second. Yeah, so BlizzCon qualifiers are, I think, this week, right, for Europe. And then next week for America, which, Purple, you're actually part of. You're the only guy here still part of it, so congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you.
So how's practice been going for you lately?
Very bad.
What? Bad?
I've consistently held up a rank 2K legend playtesting my lineup for regionals, so yeah, just bad.
What? Okay. Well, at least you have another week, right? So.
Yeah, one more week to figure out what I'm doing and what decks to bring.
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to be watching this week really closely, and I mean, or how different, I guess, is Europe and in America?
Everyone plays the same, like 4 or 5 decks. Druid, Patron, Handlock, you mix in maybe a Casino Mage after that, and ever so often a Hunter. So everyone's playing the same decks because it's consensus as to what the best decks are.
All right. Well, how are you feeling, confident-wise, against the other players? Do you think they're any other favorites you see in the tournament?
Dog and Reynad got knocked out. All Archon got knocked out. There's Trump and I feel like I'm kind of sitting pretty because
wow, okay,
like all the big names are already out.
I think by virtue of the fact that the big names got knocked out, just kind of proves that you have the same odds as anyone else, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're still playing.
I mean, it's like double elimination at this point, though, right? There's groups. And there are people from the South American region, right? 2 of them, I call it, or that you have to play against.
Yeah, and from my understanding, they didn't have all the cards, or they were playing Grand Crusader intentionally. So their metagame's a bit different, and I'm kind of worried about it.
I don't know if you should be worried or happy.
Notably, the both players that came from the South American qualifier brought mid-range Paladin, which is something that didn't happen on NA or EU really. So I just haven't practiced against mid-range Paladin in a long time. Considering it's
mid-range Paladin's not too bad right now, especially because Druid and
Team
Handlock are so prevalent, right?
Yeah, so it's good against the popular decks that aren't Patron.
Grand Crusader, wow, yeah, that's definitely interesting.
I've never actually won a game against Grand Crusader in my life.
What? Never?
I've never had it played against me, but I've also never won against it.
There was a time where it was in, God, what deck was it that people were trying to fit it in?
I saw it in Tempo Mage before.
Yeah, I think was it Tempo Mage? Gosh, I don't know about that.
That's what the South American guys did. They squeezed it in on the 6th slot in Tempo Mage.
Yeah.
Just because you just run out of cards anyways, so you might as well have a 5/5 that gives you a card.
Yeah.
Over running a Sylvanas in the deck or...
Yeah, free Tyrion, right?
Yeah.
Why not Azure Drake?
Yeah, right?
The 4 health actually dies to a lot of things. 5/5s are really hard to kill for a lot of
6 mana, I don't know. I'd rather play an Ashley or something.
Might as well
Antonitis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, I mean, definitely the BlizzCon regionals. I mean, this is supposed to be the main storyline right here in Hearthstone, leading to BlizzCon. So I think San Francisco, you going there? You're guaranteed. Are you guaranteed money just by even going to this regional? I think.
Yeah,
Right?
I think a couple of thousand or something like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, that's cool. At least you get something, like, regardless. But of course, you want to be, you want to be
Yeah,
there at the
I don't
end.
think anyone goes to this regional caring about 2000. It's all
Exactly.
it's all actually about
Exactly.
actually going to BlizzCon.
Is it top two or is it just the winner?
It's top four.
It's top four,
four,
from
Top
each
four
regional.
out of 8 players. Yep.
Oh wow. Okay.
And there's
That's
four
great.
players from EU, 4 players from Europe, 4 players from Asia, and 4 players from Australia. 16 to go to compete in
Yeah.
BlizzCon.
Look here. Yeah. Okay. That'd be great. 16. I think last year there was 8. There was definitely less than 16 last year at the actual event, I believe.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. I think there was, but yeah. Anyways, looking forward to it, and hopefully, yeah, you make it there, man. It'd be great to see you at BlizzCon. It'd be great. All right. I think coming up actually this weekend, there's another event, which is the eSports Arena event that Kibler's been obviously promoting a lot, and Dog, you're gonna be there. Actually, Ray, you're gonna be there too, right?
Yeah, it's like a 30-minute drive. I was actually there last week or something with Hafu and Tides, or 2 weeks ago.
Right, with the arena thing. You guys doing the arena together? On
Yeah,
stream? I remember that. How is the arena, by the way? Like, I remember hearing about them planning it originally, and then I vaguely remember hearing them opening it, but never been there, and I don't know if I've talked to
I
anybody
like
that's
the
been there.
venue a lot. I mean, it's really clean and it's a nice big stage, comfortable. They have food and stuff nearby. It was pretty cool. Actually, I played my BlizzCon match there. Don't remember if I won or lost. I think I lost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I got eliminated at that arena or something. It was pretty
Bad
frustrating.
memories, man.
Yeah. And that was really stressful, like week or day by day thing. I had to play every day. I played once from an esports arena, then I played from like the Blizzard offices, and then like home one time, and it was
Wow.
but yeah, the arena itself was really cool. I'm actually excited for the tournament. Those guys are going to be doing a lot more stuff there regularly, and it's cool that it's local mostly. But
Is it just a big? I mean, is it literally just a big arena type of setup, or are there like lots
No.
of little, like little stages, I guess, and then just one main stage?
It's just one main stage. Like you walk in the doors, and then it's a giant LAN center with a stage out front and a big like display behind it.
Yeah.
And, yeah, a ton of computers and seating stuff. So
Okay, cool.
I think me and Tides are actually gonna play the one of their Counter-Strike tournaments.
What? Really?
Yeah, why not? Get 5 people together.
Okay.
Neither of us is good at the game, but might as well. Be
All
fun to
right,
try,
that's
right?
cool. Yeah. Definitely Counter-Strike would be. Is it like a professional tournament, or is it just one of these casual kind of
Oh,
tournaments?
just like a local LAN.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Sounds good. Well, Dog, you feeling good about this tournament? I think we were talking a little bit about it, but excited for it?
Yeah, it should be good. It's like the prize pool of like a DreamHack, but it's like in the United States, so it's not too bad. You just
Yeah.
fly over there, play for the weekend, come back, see how it goes. Should be fun.
Do you know the format yet?
I actually don't. I'm kind of hoping it's like groups, but I have no
The
idea.
organizer told me ask Kibler. Well, I mean, like it. I don't know. Like, is it called the Kibler tournament? Or
That's what we were asking. We were like, Kibler seems to be organizing a lot of it, but I don't.
Maybe it's one deck then. That would be cool.
Single
One
deck,
deck? What?
like Swiss. Or
That's the
something?
ones.
Swiss best of threes, one deck. That's how that's how I would.
I have no idea what it is. I don't have any
Wow.
details on this
That'd be
tournament.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Well, anyways, this tournament's going to be this weekend, and yeah, Killer's hosting it, so definitely check it out, guys. These two will be playing in it, as well as a bunch of other, really popular players and streamers. Hyped, you can see right here: Strifecrow, Tides, Firebat, Soleil. Lots of good players here. All right, well, let's move on. Let's talk some cards now. Let's get into some of our card talk, and we're gonna be doing our segment which is Gimmick, Good, or Golden, that we've been doing at least a couple of episodes that you guys have probably seen already. And so I've picked out a couple new, or at least 6 new cards. Let me see. Yeah, I believe 6, maybe. No, actually 7 new cards. So we're gonna go through them one by one, and what we're gonna have is the guest basically classify them as Gimmick, Gold, or Golden. Gimmick being just a bad card, or maybe a faddish card, but long term not a good card. Good being just okay. It can be decent, but not one of those OP cards or anything. And then Golden, a card that's going to be sticking around for a long time in the meta. So we'll start off with Fallen Hero, which is a mage card that, again, when TGT first started, everybody was really excited about it because it had something to do with the hero power and all these dreams of being able to cast 2 damage 10 times and things like that going through people's minds. But Reynad, what do you think about this card?
The Fallen Hero, I don't like. It's playable, but don't like it. After playing with it a lot, it's really hard for this card to be good while things like Haunted Creeper and Mad Scientist are in rotation and Shielded Minibot. There's just so many matchups where it's like, if I'm not coining it, I feel like it's a waste to play it, and if I do coin it, I feel like I'm trading 4 mana for 1 card, like a Minibot or something. So, I don't know. Like, I want to like it, but I think it really needed to be a 2/3 just because of how absurd some of the 2-drops are right now.
All right, Dog, what do you think?
I agree. There's too many like power 2-drops. Like Minibot just completely destroys this. I wouldn't say it's a bad card though. Like if I wanted to run a 2-drop that wasn't like a Mad Scientist and Mage or Sorcerer's Apprentice, it would probably be this.
Mm-hmm.
You can play it. They kind of have to clear it, so it has like pseudo taunt in that aspect. So it's like it's decent. I'd classify it as good. Definitely not like golden or anything above that.
Okay, Purple.
Best case scenario, you coin it on turn 1, you block a Juggler. Juggler decks also play Scientist and Creeper though, so not great. And turn 4, you get to kill a Juggler, but you'd rather just play Shredder or Water Elemental, because that actually advances your board more than developing a 3/2. Best case scenario is bad.
Okay. And any situation where, or any state of the meta where you could see this being decent?
If,
Take away Minibot and Scientist.
Right, yeah. If those cards aren't in the game, this is actually really good.
Yeah, which those cards are forever going to be in the game, I think. All right, next up we got Silver Hand Regent. This card was... I think a lot of people are thinking about this card just in terms of more of a flooding type of deck or things like Paladin or Shaman, I think, originally. But, Dog, what do you think?
I was actually running a deck that just like ran purely tokens. It was running like Fencing Coach,
Yeah.
so you can like get that like Inspire effect with Murloc Knight or Silverhand Regent and stuff like that, and it worked pretty well. Like it has its place, but it's not like good enough to where it would be a top tier deck. And you wouldn't play this in any other class other than Paladin. I don't really see a case where you would. So it's like mediocre at best. I'd always run Murloc Knight over Silverhand Regent, and a 3-mana 3/3 like it dies to 2-drops. It's just the body's not there. It's okay. It's fun to play with, but not very good.
All right, Purple.
Again, you're only playing it in Paladin, and you're not putting this in your deck over Alder Peacekeeper or Muster for Battle. So realistically, you want to play True Silver or Shredder or Blessing of Kings on turn 4. So you can't curve with the card, making it a liability because Paladin is just a deck you need to curve out with. So, just not good.
Not good. All right. Ray?
I think the card's like, I don't know, it just kind of shows how good something has to be for it to be called good in Hearthstone. Like, so many of the cards are strong or just like good on paper, but you really have to do something broken at this point to see playing constructed. I mean, Silverhand Regent is like, it's a really good arena card, and on paper it's solid, but yeah, it's just so important to just do the best possible thing you can every single turn using all your mana that you just don't really want to be inspiring instead of playing Shredder, and you don't really want to be playing a 3/3 turn 3. So yeah, it's like, it's fine, but I don't think it'll ever be strong enough that it's worth putting in your deck over other stuff.
All right, so probably I think good, right? Triple goods here. Maybe a gimmick from purple. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, but I'm bad.
All right. Next up, we got Maiden of the Lake. All right, this card again is another card that affects your hero power. Actually reduces it by 1, which is nice for sure. But what do you guys think of this purple?
We're just here to tell you how bad every Inspire card is.
I think Dog is the only person who's played with the card extensively, and I think he's got the most valid opinion of it.
I mean,
with the major demo deck, right?
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. It almost has it's almost good enough to where you can play it as a 4-drop, but the stat point is just missing. Like if it had one more stat on anything aside from the mana cost, obviously.
Yeah.
But if it had one more stat point, it'd be actually playable and things. But I did try it in a major demo deck, and it works really, really well with it. I mean, it's a one-of, but it has its place for fun decks.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't ever see it in a constructed deck. Even in an inspired deck, it's kind of hard to fit in because what inspire effect is really that good that you want to reduce it, or what hero power is really that good that you want to reduce it by 1. The only one is I don't know, the Ragnaros one, or I mean maybe Armor Up or something. I have no idea. But it's just not good enough. Yeah.
What if it was permanent? What if the hero power is permanent?
Oh, then everyone would play that. That thing is sick.
Yeah.
All right, so 2 gimmicks in the goal. Ray, any comments on this or no?
Maiden, I've played it a decent amount and kind of like a tempo mage thing with photo riders and next champion and stuff. Right. And it was just every game I kind of wished I had a shredder, but
it does have 6 health, right? It's 6 on the board for a while.
Yeah, the problem is
the 2 is the problem.
Yeah, that's part of it. They're treating the effect like spell power. The reason there's not much spell power played in constructed is because Blizzard keeps misbalancing it. This bonus, just like spell power, it needs to be free. You can't be losing any stats on the card. It has to be a Yeti worth of stats, and then this has to be a bonus for it to see constructed play. But they decided to remove a stat point. And I agree with Dog. No matter where you put it, if it was Oasis Snapjaw, or if it was a 3/6 just neutral water elemental thing, then it probably becomes a little too good. Maybe if the hero power got reduced to 0 mana, or maybe if I don't know, maybe if it cost 3 mana and had 1 less health. But yeah, as is, it's just a little too weak.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Next up, we've got Tuskar Jouster, which I definitely do see from time to time in some mid-range paladins here, and whether they heal or not, it seems to still be somewhat effective as a 5/5 body. Ray, what do you think of this?
Tuskar Jouster, yeah, it's so hard to say how good these cards are because all the slow paladin cards have been pushed out by Challenger. When you're playing paladin, you just want to be playing Mysterious Challenger, and because of that, it's I haven't gotten to play with these cards as much as I'd like to. Jouster's okay. I don't know. I think Belcher's better as a defensive card, and I think 5 mana is a really competitive slot for the deck. So again, it's one of those things where the card has so much competition that I don't think I'll see a ton of play, but it's not unplayable,
How important is the heal, I guess, in terms of it being...
It's really important. That's the problem. The heal is... When you play a card on turn 5 with the intention of healing you, it's there to, win you the game against Hunter. And this card will win you the game against Hunter, 60% of the time. And the other 40% of the time, you're going to go straight to your collection right after and take it out of your deck.
Right. Right. Dog?
I mean, yeah, it's kind of if you play this card, you're going to want to, you can play it on turn 5 for the body, which is good. I mean, if you don't have any other options, yeah, sure. It's better than a heal bot in that aspect. But I mean, most of the time when you play it, you're going to want to heal. And it kind of sucks if you don't heal. But at the same time, against Hunter, you're going to have a higher curve than them generally. So, I don't know. I would say it's higher than 60%. You win it 70%. And even then, that's pretty good. I think this card, is pretty decent. You just have to, up your curve. And you can definitely do it if you, because it says reveal a minion, right? Not spells. So you can just up your curve with minions and then include the muster for battle and the equality and all that garbage. So this thing hits more often. And you have stronger bodies. But Yeah, I don't know. I can I don't know. I always like argue whether or not I should play Healbot or Tuskar Jouster.
Right.
And then I always include Tuskar Jouster and just I blame the loss on the Tuskar Jouster, not on myself.
Even when you get the heal,
Even when I get the heal, I'm just like, man, if that was like one more point of heal, I'd be set.
Exactly right. Purple.
Realistically, you're playing one zombie Chow, two mini bots, two jugglers, and out. You're not even going 60% on Joust against Hunter. Like, Wolf Rider and Leroy will win those jousts against your deck. And the time you actually need the heal, it means you miss your early drops, meaning your early drops are still in the deck. So it's not even 60%. So on top of that, you're competing against Quartermaster, Sludge Belcher, and Lofeb realistically in the 5 spot. So
I think you're competing with Healbot more. I think this is a card where you compete with Healbot, not Belcher.
Yeah, but if you don't trust the card to go off, then you're still including Healbot, and you're stuck with a deck with 7 5-drops. So just very mediocre.
All right. So I guess in the good range, I think generally from the three of you guys. Next up, we've got Bash, which we're seeing a lot in some. We're starting to see a lot, at least in the Control Warriors, even some of these Fatigue Warriors that we're seeing. What do you think of this card, Dog?
When I first saw it, I thought the card was like the worst thing ever.
Right. I think a lot of people did.
Why would anyone want to play this? Like, it doesn't even draw you a card. I don't know. I'm not really in the mindset of just like gaining armor and like, you know, how that influences the board state. I still don't like the card, maybe because I don't play Warrior very much. It just doesn't seem that good to me. I don't know. Maybe it's like a one of. I do like that it can go face though. That's pretty cool. Because I always die to that against a Warrior. I'm just like, you would have used Grom, I'm good. And then like Bash comes out of nowhere behind all my taunts. I'm just like, it's terrible. But it's okay. I wouldn't play it personally.
Okay, Purple?
I think the card's really good. You're in this spot in your early game where if you miss Fire War Axe, that Knife Juggler's going to start accumulating damage. And then you're going to have, say, maybe an Animal Companion or it's just something else to swing at with Deathspite later. So you're in that middle spot where if you miss Fire War Axe, you have a recovery plan against Knife Juggler. And it's just an additional removal spell that heals you. So it's really good in aggro matchups. It's got a lot of good spots. I play 2 of them in Control Warrior right now. I think it's good.
Oh, wow. You played, okay, 2 of them. Right. What do you think?
I started out playing 0 of it because I thought that it would be like too many cards in the deck that don't draw cards or don't like have substance late game. But I play 2 of it now. It's really good, I think. Just important to maximize your removal, and it's just so flexible that it like even when it's bad, it's not that bad, and when it's good, it like stops you from taking 20 damage from Knife Juggler or something else. So I've been really impressed with it. I like Bash and things like Justicar True Heart make this a little bit better because they actually they basically just give you like more stuff to use your mana on late game. So you can afford to have more things like Bash that just sacrifice a card for board control or for life.
I actually want to add a point.
Sure.
Against a druid that actually draws Wild Growth and you're on coin, you can actually deal with Shredder without coining Deathspite. And there's you currently don't play any 4-drops minions in Control Warrior. So you mangle your curve by coining Deathspiting that Shredder. So it allows you to gap towards your 5. So it's got a nice spot, like especially there, which is one of the harder matchups.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So for Bash, what did you guys replace, I guess, with Bash?
I hate that question because I don't know what was in your deck in the first.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. It's probably a minion, though, right?
For me, it's like I play 1 shield block, and I've been running 1 or 0 acolytes.
Oh, okay.
0 acolytes. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, we're about to talk
Depends
about...
on matchups you're good.
Yeah, we're about to talk about a deck with 0 acolytes, actually. Okay, moving on, we're going to go to Dark Bargain, a Warlock card that, Purple, you told me you tried a lot, like in the very beginning of TGT, so what do you think of this card?
It's not good.
I want
it to be good, but it's like Siphon Soul. It hasn't been playable in Handlock in so long, and it's a 6-mana card with similar effect, and it's on the 6th spot, except it has a huge drawback. It can't be played. It can't be played in zoo. So your archetypes are Malalock. You don't want to be pitching combo pieces. Handlock. Maybe you can pitch some cards in Handlock. Like Handlock's
Yeah.
definitely, and it just doesn't fit in zoo, of course. But it's worse than Siphon, and Siphon's not playable.
You forgot Dreadsteed Lock, man. Come on, man. No, what do you think, Ray?
Yeah, it's just too weak. Like it's so close to being good, right? You need if things that weren't tokens and weren't Death Rattly were getting played, a card like this would be so strong.
Right.
You could even play it in something like Zoo, or you just play it like a third Doomguard or something. You just blow them out, you know. But it's that's just not the meta game. Everything is, you know, musters and shredders and implosions, and it's just haunted creeper. There's too many problems with destroying stuff at random or destroying minions in general. So yeah,
Yeah, it's such a high mana cost too. 6. That's
maybe if there was more discard synergy. That's a really cool theme. I wish they pushed it a little more. Maybe if Dreadsteed like got put in play when you discard it.
yeah. Well, they seem to be just introducing some more of these discard type of cards. So, or at least some that gain power from discard. We'll probably see more of them in the future here. Dog, what do you think?
I didn't even know this card existed.
What?
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I don't know. It's because like I don't know because during this I was just like, oh, like that's a cool card, I guess. I could see it like maybe in like a mid-range warlock, but even then, like they're gonna be using removal spell on your minions as opposed to just like you wanting to use this. So I think it's just bad. It doesn't fit anywhere, and yeah, it's just really really bad. But,
All right, triple gimmick there. And then our last card, final card, is back to the mage. Whoops. It's Spellslinger. And we're starting to see a little bit of Spellslinger. Some people have been playing it in the Xeno mage, right? Purple, what do you think?
So it competes with a spot of Arcane Intellect in the deck, and it's pseudo draw. But if you miss your 3-drop, you know, a lot of the time, most of the time you don't want to play Spellslinger on 3. I'm just debating if it's better than Arcane Intellect on 3. The problem with it is it's just not a curve minion that you want to be playing on turn 3. But it's good if you top deck it on 6 and you can utilize the mana immediately when you're out of cards. So you have to run a really low curve and have no other plays around turn 5 and 6 and draw a spell that costs less than 3, kind of thing, for it to be good. Too many variables for it to be consistent.
All right, interesting. Ray, what do you think?
I mean, I think playing on 3 is fine. I mean, it's not like they're usually going to have an immediate target for their spell. I think like less than 30% of the time or something, they would have like a good play off of the Spellslinger. That they would, most of the time they're going to respond with like their own on-curve thing or Despite or something. The card's okay, but yeah, it does compete with Arcane Intellect. I'm not sure which one's better. On paper, I would think Spellslinger would be a lot better because you get one less card, but you're replacing it with a 0-mana 3/4, which your tempo deck should want. But yeah, it's just in practice, it has not been that impressive, and I really go back and forth. I'm not sure what's better. I think like a card like this has a lot of potential long term if like more cards get released, and Mage can have a much lower curve. Then something like Spellslinger looks a lot better. Like you want this kind of cheap, decent sized minion that kind of fills up your hand again in the late game. But yeah, right now it's probably not great, I would say.
Do you even care that your opponent gets a card or spell?
I mean, the idea is that the decks I would play it in would be the decks that don't care most of the time, right?
Okay.
But yeah, I think that I would call it good. Just it is playable. Like it's good, just not golden.
Dog?
So I've been playing a lot of Tempo Mage, and I never include this card.
Okay.
But I think it's good. I think it's a really good card. Because the idea behind it is like you have a really low curve, and they just like use this as like pseudo card draw, right? So you play it, and then they can't play the spell because it costs too much, but you can play it because it doesn't cost that much. But it's kind of hard to find a balance between like card draw and what cost spell you're gonna get. Because if you're gonna get like an execute or something, like that's 1 mana, and sure that's good with your ping, but like I don't know. Sometimes you get Tree of Life, and you're just like, well, this doesn't help.
Right.
So yeah,
And
I think it's a really good card though.
Random question, but does it have any spot in a control mage where you can use it as a 31st card in your deck, like Bot Steel would kind of thing?
I don't think so.
No?
I think in Control Mage, you kind of want to know what they're playing. And if you give them a random spell, it just kind of like confuses you. Almost. I don't know. It makes it too hard to predict what they're going to do.
Might be worth trying. I don't know.
Yeah. Purple, you like this card at all or no?
No.
All right.
Just throwing out ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, that's going to conclude our Gimme Good or Golden segment there. And we're going to move on to talking about decks. And I have a couple here to discuss. First one being Kit Kat's Sarad deck, which was, I think he got pretty high in Legend, like maybe last week with it. And I talked maybe briefly with him, and he said it was actually quite good. But this deck is one of those decks that don't have Acolyte in it. And of course there's a Sarad in it, which is always adds kind of a fun nuance to it. What do you think of this deck? Reynad, you want to start?
I mean, the no acolytes is the interesting part to me, but it is kind of boring, right? Like, it's a control warrior deck.
Mm-hmm.
It has some slams and it has a Nexus Champion's Rod, but it's control warrior, right? Like,
Right.
How much does your win percentage change if you replace Nexus Champion's Rod with like a second Shield Maiden or something boring? You know, it's a very. I'm just disappointed, man. You need to have something better for us, ChanManV. Where's the Major Domo deck, dog?
Exactly. Actually, that would have been fun. I don't know, dog. What do you think?
Sure, it's good.
This deck is Control Warrior. Yeah.
Yeah, just
without
straight up
Acolytes.
control. All right.
It doesn't run Cruel Taskmasters, which is kind of interesting. I cut those
Yeah.
as well in
Mhm.
place of Slams because I really like Slam right now.
What do you think of Revenge? I mean,
It's okay. It's like a Whirlwind, and if you're weak, it's better Whirlwind. There's not much to say about it. It's like, removal. The BGH is kind of interesting because you're not running Cool Taskmasters, so I don't know. I usually like only have BGH in my Warrior if I'm running Cool Taskmasters for a little more synergy. But yeah, it's just Control Warrior.
That's actually a good point he brought up. Where if you play Big Game Hunter, if you're not playing Acolytes, the Big Game Hunter doesn't make sense because you're losing by default to Handlock with this deck because you're just going to run out of cards and they're going to run you over. So having a Big Game Hunter for a matchup that you're already not going to win doesn't seem completely necessary. Although maybe in the Control Warrior mirror, it could be okay because you don't have draw, so you're going to win by fatigue.
right.
The Nexus, I've played with this deck or something close to it. As you can kind of embarrass some like base hunters by like prepping lay on hands later in the game if you get it going long enough. But just super high variance card. It's oftentimes you can't do anything with this spell because it's just random.
Right. There's probably a decent number that's not going to be applicable, but
It's like a fun deck that's not that fun because it's still just Control Warrior. I don't know. You're just like
Still
putting a
pretty
Nexus
random.
Champion. Yeah, you're just putting a Nexus Champion Sarad in it. I don't know. It's strange to me.
all right.
But, yeah, I think the interesting parts of this are like the no acolytes and the no taskmasters for sure.
yeah.
I
that's-
don't think it's fair to say that you just lose to handlock without acolytes. Like, that's not. I don't think that's the
I think
the
that's
card that
already
beats
a bad
handlock
ma-
at a
I
time.
think it's a bad matchup, and if you have a full hand at all times, you can just answer every threat. It's like
That's what
drawing
Nexus Champions for, right? You drop that sucker down. What's the
Execute number
handlock gonna do?
Get a sacrificial pack.
That's right. Exactly.
Down.
All right. Next deck, the Pirate Rogue. So I forgot I can't remember actually the person, the author of this rogue, but definitely been hearing some people making it to Legend with the Pirate Rogue. I think Savitz had one that was on Reddit the other day.
This is the.
Or no, he played Dragon actually. So this isn't. But what do you guys think of this rogue?
I built this.
You did?
This
Is this your deck?
Well, it's my deck with 2 Buccaneers. Let me pull up the link. It's
Okay.
good though. It's decent. I played it before TGT though. It wasn't that good back then, but now it might be really good. Cause I just really like Rogue right now. I don't know, man. I've been playing it a lot, and
Yeah?
this list is pretty much the same win percentage as the normal ones.
What's funny is that like a lot of people are starting to play Rogue a lot, and a week ago Rogue was just actually a few weeks. It's been week after week that Rogue's just been, for the most part, not being played. If anything, it was just the standard oil Rogue. But this week seems to be a complete different story. Purple, what do you think? I think we were talking a little bit about this, and you said you played a pretty similar one.
I started playing this season for the grind to legend. We're ranked 10 so far. We're I think 15-1 with this deck or something similar.
Okay.
But the way I did it was not Assassin's Blade. I curved that. I stopped the curve at 5 of Greenskin, and the goal is to incrementally grow your weapon until turn 5. So it's more of a weapon themed deck than a pirate themed deck. So you start building with the Buccaneer, and then with what's the 3/2 that gives your weapon +1?
The blade.
The Goblin Auto Barber. Right?
Yeah, that guy. So you
Barber,
keep building. You add a deadly poison wherever the mana fits, and then you drop this Greenskin on 5, and all of a sudden you actually have a lot of damage. And same theme with the Dread Corsairs. Double Deckhand, double Buccaneer. I'm not playing the Blood Accelerators or the Ship's Cannon, so it's not full pirates. And I'm actually I have a Leroy over an Assassin's Blade and Cold Lights over Sprints, and it's just much more aggressive.
Very different tech.
Yeah, that's pretty different.
Well, it runs 6 pirates.
All right.
As long as you have over 4 pirates, it's considered a pirate deck, I guess.
Run 1 pirate, it's a pirate.
One card in that control your deck, it was called a Nexus Champion.
Oh, that's true. Okay, all right, fair. That's fair enough. All right, what do you think, Doc?
I like the cannons though. Like when I was playing it, cannon it's like something you actually wanted to do over hero powering turn 2. It's a really strong card. I mean, ship's cannon's like the kind of card where if there was more of those, pirates would actually be a pretty real thing. Just right now it's a little bit tough to find reasons outside of that to have pirate synergy, because like the pirate lord guy is not that good. 3/3/1.
3/3/1. Oh yeah, right.
the leader guy, yeah.
Dog, what do you think?
I played pirate deck, and I got like top 8 with it. I was like midway through the season, but it didn't run Tinks Oiled, it didn't run Saps, it ran all pirates, an Assassin's Blade, and then no preps, no sprints, and cold lights. And I just it was like kind of a smorky list, so you just play all your pirates like Zoo, and then you just like flurry them down, because it ran 2 flurries still, because Buccaneer buffs the weapon, so it's still pretty good.
Right.
And I don't know, it stomped Druid, like it destroyed Druid, because like they could not keep up with it. And I played a bunch of those. It beat Paladin pretty consistently. Oh, it was a fun deck. I haven't tried it with oils and preps yet. Well, my reasoning was like, you don't have the card draw to sustain it, and including preps and sprints kind of like, I don't know, kind of slows it down too much, I feel like. Because like if you include preps in your deck, you have to have enough card draw to like support it, and then you have to include sprint, and then suddenly you're just playing oil rogue with pirates, and it gets kind of weird. So
how do you beat druids with 5/10s without sap?
Huh?
I feel like you just lose if they play on 5/10.
You kill them on like turn. They're too scared. I don't know. You just kill them on like turn 6, because like I don't know. Your Bloodsail Raider is a 6/3 usually. Your Dread Courtier comes out for free, and then you just like Raffle Stomp them from there. Still runs backstabs, so yeah.
All right, Pirate Rogue back then, I guess. Even though we're not using any of the new pirates except for Buccaneer, I guess, which is, probably the best one.
Isn't it the only new pirate? There's the Sky Captain, right? And then
Sky Captain. There's I guess the other cards utilize
the other pirates. They're not pirate, but the Shady Dealer. The Shady Dealer is actually pretty sick. If you can get him out, a 5/4 on turn 3 is like amazing. Except it dies to a Shredder, but still.
you get 5 in before it dies, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, that's gonna be it for the decks. I think we're gonna take a quick break just to kind of get the next segment set up. But before we do that, I wanted to remind you guys that if you guys want to support the show, that we have a Patreon up for Valuetown at patreon.com/Valuetown. Just want to thank all the patrons up to this point this past week. Really appreciate it. It really helps me, develop the show and, make it better than it's ever been. So big thanks to you guys for doing that. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. It's going to be a really quick one, so don't go anywhere.